Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the first episode of The King of 161st Street. I am the King. I am your host, TJ Pedro. Let's just get into it. I would do a whole introduction thing, but we got big news right off the bat, episode 1. So if you're new here, if you like Yankees baseball, hit the subscribe button. We're going to be posting every Monday and Friday. So hope you're ready. We'll get more into like where Punch Out Podcast is going later. But holy shit, we got a trade. The Yankees are trading Gary Sanchez and Gio Urshela in exchange for Josh Donaldson, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, and Ben Rortvedt. I'm going to be honest here. I do not know much about this guy, Ben. But according to Bob Nightingale, the Yankees believe they got an incredible catching upgrade with Ben Rortvedt over Gary Sanchez. With that sentence alone, I believe he will be our starting catcher this upcoming season. But let's get into the other portions of this trade. Gary Sanchez and Gio Urshela, both guys I really liked on the team. This trade, especially on Twitter, has people very confused. Yankees fandom is torn. Was this a good trade? Was this a terrible trade? Is Josh Donaldson good still? Is Kiner-Falefa a good shortstop? Are we going after first base right now? Are you pissed that we're not going after Correa? In my opinion, I like this move for shortstop. I like the idea of Volpe coming up and him being our guy at shortstop. And Kiner-Falefa seems like a bridge. He seems like a bridge player to get to Volpe and not have much of a lapse time. In some ways, even improve. Because Gleyber Torres over there had a -10 defensive runs saved. Kiner-Falefa has a 10 defensive runs saved. And the average defensive runs saved is about 0. Anything above 0 is above average. He has a 10 defensive runs saved. Yes, he had the same amount of errors. But errors does not tell the full story. It does not tell everything you're doing. It does not tell, again, the defensive runs saved. How many runs are you saving for your team? Compare it to compare it to Gleyber Torres. Gleyber Torres at shortstop had a -10 defensive runs saved. So that's why this deal was made. A, they don't have to pay big at shortstop, which they didn't want to do. They don't have to get Correa, who I feel like some guys at the Yankees brass are still not very pleased with this man. And 3, you're getting a guy who improves your team. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa will improve our team. Now let's get into the big piece, Josh Donaldson. He's going to be replacing Gio Urshela at third base. It's difficult to see this trade through, knowing how good Gio Urshela was, especially in 2021, in a year where a lot of guys struggled. He was sort of a bright spot, and now he's gone. If they're going for a more hitting-centric guy for third base, they got it. But Gio Urshela just brings so much defense to the plate that it's tough for me to really love that part of the move. It's going to be very weird not seeing Gio Urshela at third base, seeing Josh Donaldson, who has talked so much shit about the Yankees over the years. Now he's in pinstripes. A lot of people are talking about his age and how he's had injury problems. I don't know how that's going to fare, but if Josh Donaldson is 80% of what he used to be, he will have a field day in Yankee Stadium. This man will be able to rake. And if the Yankees are going for just more boppers there, going the Bronx Bombers way, then this is a really good trade for that specific thing. They improved defensively in the middle. They downgraded defensively on the outside at third base. Now looking at it, they are not going to get Correa. They are not going to get Story. They're going to go after first base. In my opinion, that's what they're pivoting. They're pivoting to the top three guys in the market right now, either trade or free agency. Freddie Freeman, Matt Olson, Anthony Rizzo. I feel like a real Yankees move would be to bring back Anthony Rizzo, and I wouldn't mind that. Anthony Rizzo really played well for us last season and really gave depth to this lineup. All three of these guys are lefties, so all these guys will give depth to this lineup, being an extra lefty out there. I think either Rizzo or Olson are the most likely possibilities, because since Kiner Falefa is an upgrade at shortstop, Gleyber Torres is expendable. That's a perfect prospect for a team that's trying to get to trade away a guy who has done wonders for them. That's the type of guy that they'd want. A guy who is around 24, 25, who has offensive upside, who can work on his defense. That's the perfect guy for them. He's young. He has offensive talent. Like, he's talented everywhere. But especially offensively, he is talented. That's the perfect guy. So, and now that you got a replacement for him, to make him expendable is perfect for a Matt Olson trade. Now, if you wanted to make a trade for like a starter with that piece, go after Freddie Freeman. It's going to cost a lot of money, and I don't know. I still, in my heart, believe he's going back to Atlanta. I cannot see him anywhere else. Would I want Freddie Freeman in Yankee Stadium? Of course. But in my heart of hearts, he's staying in Atlanta. I'm saying it right now. He is staying in Atlanta. Anthony Rizzo, if they're not going to try and trade prospects and or Gleyber Torres for Matt Olson, is our next option. And again, like I said earlier, I don't mind that. He added, when he came to that locker room, it provided a spark. That same spark we got from the baby Bombers from when everyone was injured. When we were going on a win streak, even though Judge and all the baby Bombers that of the 2017 team were out. We had Estevan Florial. We had Andrew Velasquez. All these guys, Miguel Andujar, all these guys who are stepping up and giving us great innings. Anthony Rizzo came in and had that same effect. It gave a spark to this team. And in some ways, him giving our lineup depth and not having the offense to just be throw a righty out there and this lineup will struggle. Now you've got depth, righty-lefty, righty-lefty, to where now your offense is more cohesive. That's the only reason we made the postseason. Without Anthony Rizzo being on this team, we missed the postseason in 2021. So I would not mind them running it back with Anthony Rizzo with this new look team. A lot of things that killed us this season was defense. And with Kiner Falefa, This trade upgraded our defense immensely. And even though it may look not as great right now, it may look like we sort of cashed out at or we're sort of saving money at shortstop. We're not trying to spend bank at short. I still believe this was a really good trade for this team. I think this will help save some games defensively. It really hurts to see Gio Urshela go. I understand why Gary Sanchez left. They had to give up Gary Sanchez. Still hurts me that they had to do it. But man, this is an interesting trade. Josh Donaldson has a lot to prove now. Josh Donaldson has to prove that he can still play like 2018, back when he was winning like awards. He has to prove he can bring that back. And Yankee Stadium is a great place for an offensive player. He's a righty, so the short porch won't help him out too much. But left field is not deep. Let's be honest. Our park is not the deepest. Josh Donaldson, if he can be anywhere near what he was back then, should be able to rake. He should be able to put up relative numbers to back when he was with Toronto. If his offensive upside is there, and Kiner Falefa continues to improve defensively and continues to improve offensively, he is an improving offensive player. And so I think if Kiner Falefa improves offensively, Josh Donaldson proves he can stay healthy and rake like he used to back in Toronto, this team could still be scary. That's one reason why I love this trade, because they still kept depth at positions, at like short being at short having defense now. You got Donaldson at third, who is offensively gifted. So you just inverse that. You inverse what was there. And I don't think Josh Donaldson was as bad defensively at as Gleyber Torres, quite frankly. I think in a lot of ways this is advanced fielding. Okay, defensive runs saved. Yeah. Josh Donaldson was an average to above average fielder this season. Has a 1 defensive run saved. Like I told you before, average is 0. He was at a 1, so he's around the average. Gleyber Torres was giving you way below average. Kiner Falefa doubles him basically. And Donaldson is average at defensively. And especially when the Yankees throw out that death lineup where Stanton's in the outfield with Gallo and Judge, and Donaldson now could be that DH. Like I said before, if he can bring back 80% of what he was back in Toronto, this team is scary. And I just want fans to know that. I want fans to not look at this trade so quick, react so quick. Think about the upside of what this trade could be. Yes, does it suck we gave up Gio? Yes. Does it? Some fans wanted Gary Sanchez gone, some fans didn't. But that offense, if impact was there. Think about the upside of what this can do, especially in a ballpark that is more hitter friendly than where they were at. We've revived. We've rejuvenated Gio Urshela's hitting. Who says we can't do the same with Kiner Falefa? Yes, is that a stretch that he can have the same offensive improvement? Yes. But even if we can't, he is just a bridge until we can bring Anthony Volpe up. And once Volpe is up, probably next season, now this team is fully remodeled. As a bridge, I love this option. I didn't like if their idea was Volpe's our guy, I didn't like the idea of bringing in Correa. I didn't like the idea of bringing in Story, because you're going to have to give them multi-year deals. If Volpe is ready next year, bring him up, because Volpe has the opportunity to be special. This is a special talent. A guy who worked through the ranks, wasn't highly known until he got to the minors. He's not a guy like Jason Dominguez, who I still think could be special also. But he is not a guy like Dominguez, who coming into the organization already had a lot of buzz about him. He was a guy who came into the organization and built his buzz because of the way he plays. He used his performance to build his stock. And I love that out of a player. That guy has an opportunity to be something special. And I want that to be my everyday shortstop. I know that's a huge hot take out of this Yankee community. But if the Yankees want to win long term, Volpe might have to be their guy. And I do like this trade for the short term. That we got shortstop, defense. We didn't downgrade too bad defensively at third. And we have a guy who has shown that he can hit very well in his career. If he can bring that back, and yes, I understand. Josh Donaldson is 38. 36. He's 36. So younger than I even thought. 36 years old is not the oldest that I've seen a guy perform well. Last season, he batted .247. The one thing people look at is he had 135 games. He was injured for a lot of games. But at the same time, when he's on the field, he has shown the ability to be an elite hitter. If he can stay on the field and give us 150 and give the averages like 247, he had an OBP of 352, a slugging percentage of 475. If he can do that over 150 games, I don't think people are looking at this trade like it's an L. And right now, over these last like 10 minutes or whatever I've been talking, I haven't even brought up the catcher that people are saying that the Yankees got a massive upgrade at. The Yankees even believe that, according to reports. So we're going to have to wait and see with this. This is not a trade you can judge today. I believe this trade could be good for us. I think the shortstop is a good trade. At third base is a wait and see process. Yes, it hurts to lose Gio. I understand that. He was a beloved Yankee. So anytime they trade a beloved Yankee, it's going to sting a little bit. And you're going to have some harsh reactions. But what I'm asking fans is to please calm down. Take a deep breath. Because this trade could be something special for us. Especially with moves they can make now that Gleyber Torres is expendable. All offseason, I've seen Yankee fans. We need Matt Olson. We need Matt Olson on the team. I still see it. Now they got the opportunity to make it happen. So, don't judge off of a tweet. make sure you register the information before you make a judgment call like that. Because I've seen a lot of people rush to say the Yankees got fleeced here. This is a trade that will make us miss the playoffs, blah, blah, blah. Always try and sync the information. Worst case scenario. This is the worst case. Donaldson plays, let's say, if you really want to be drastic, because I've seen people say like he barely played last year. He played 135 games. If you really want to be drastic, Donaldson plays like 100 games, bats like 250, and has like an OPS of 750. Kiner Falefa still has great defense, doesn't really improve offensively. The Yankees make the playoffs. They get bounced, but then Volpe comes up. And now we have that potential. So that is it for this video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. I know it's a little longer of a video, but I just wanted to be able to give my perspective on all portions of this trade. Thank you to Gio. Thank you to Gary for your time here. And yeah, let's go Yankees. I'm out. Peace.